welcome to another episode of the Kitchen Angle Podcast. Your host, Mike.
A story that came out about an hour ago that says that when you came to the White House, you were paying about $750 a year in federal income tax. They are not releasing that, they're not publishing the tax returns. They're not showing that out there. They're saying to protect their sources. In your tax return, sir, does that
same stories? You could have asked me the same questions 4 years ago. I had to litigate this and talk about it. Totally fake news. No, actually, I paid tax, and you'll see that as soon as my tax returns. It's under audit. They've been under audit for a long time. The IRS does not.
All right, guys, welcome to another edition to the Kitchen Angle Podcast. I'm your host, Mike. Welcome back after a few months off, right? Had to take a few months off, guys. I just had to do it. For those who are just joining into this podcast, a little glimpse of what this podcast is about. My name is Mike, a New Jersey native. But now residing in the state of Georgia, the Peach State, right? Very conservative state here, very conservative state. And for those who have been loyal listeners to me, welcome back. Welcome back. It was a nice little break that I had, 2 months, almost 3, actually. Believe it or not, time goes by, right? But, yeah, the last podcast I did was back in June. So, yeah, a good 3 months, almost 4, actually, right? Wow, time has gone by. You just heard another saga of Trump having to explain himself to the crooked news networks across here in this great state of ours. Like we haven't seen enough from the ongoing crap that's been going on in this country, right? I mean, literally. I mean, what more do we have to have to suffer here in this country? I mean, you know, we went through a crazy 2020 so far, right? I mean, the beginning of this year, we were basically becoming a very strong economic society, right? The economy has been the strongest in history, actually, right? And crazy stories of everything just bubbling up. I mean, then after that, we have to suffer from the COVID-19, coronavirus, China virus, whatever the hell you want to come to calling it. And then, story after story after story. I guess now the media is going back and forth now with Trump's income tax. You know, this guy is literally fighting a war with media. I mean, I don't see how he has the stamina and the energy to just fight these people. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, one after the other, one story after the other, and he just takes it. He takes it in, and just literally. There was another story here. I want to plug into the show. After this, President Trump being under fire after a bombshell report on his tax returns again. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you going back to the tax return scenario? Trump doesn't pay taxes. God, go get yourself a Kleenex, man. Talk about positive things. Talk about news that people want to hear. I mean, someone just got rescued from a burning building. Does the news have any positive narrative anymore? Well, question. That's a question on a lot of people's minds. A lot of people's minds. Oh boy, I'm telling you. And then another one here. Donald Trump paid $750 in federal income taxes. Can you believe this? Where's this monarchy coming from? This crap. Oh boy. $750. I mean, seriously. I mean, when is enough enough? When is enough enough? When is enough in this stupid world that we live in? Oh boy, is this even a country anymore? I like to question that. I mean, seriously, is this even a country anymore? Where we have crap that just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's like one story after the next. I mean, they've been bashing this guy since he's been in office. Literally, bashing the man since he's been in office. One story after the next. Impeachment, 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 impeachment. I mean, seriously. Seriously, you're gonna go back and forth from impeachment, COVID-19. Oh, it's Trump's fault because COVID-19 is inside the United States. Oh, it's Trump's fault. Now they're going back to the taxes. You know, now they're going back and everything else. I mean, this is crap. It really is. It's so much crap.
2018. The newspaper challenges this, saying that his tax returns show the president actually made a loss of more than $40 million. Mr. Trump has dismissed the report as fake news. Our North America correspondent Peter Bowes reports.
Oh, turn this crap off. Turn it off.
Once again, Donald Trump and his tax returns. The story that's dogged the president ever since he announced he was running for office and long before as a businessman. Now, the New York Times says it's obtained tax return data for Mr. Trump.
Turn it off. Turn it off. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear another sob story. Another sob story of the tax returns. And then, oh, of course, we got to hear Pelosi. Oh, boy. Pelosi is another one. Oh, here she is.
Madam Speaker, there's a lot on our plate today, but first and foremost, this tax story. Good morning to you. What is the political ramification? Because, to be frank, we've seen on, the days and months and weeks before.
What does Pelosi have to say?
2016
Come on,
election,
Pelosi.
we saw Access Hollywood. We've since learned about payments to porn stars. All kinds of avoidance. The Mueller report, impeachment, nothing seems to stick. So is this just another
nothing seems to stick. Oh, there's the pointer, MSNBC.
His base will say, so what?
They don't have anything on this man.
Well, I don't want to speak to the politics of it because that'll be up to his supporters and how loyal they want to be to him. I think many of them just don't want to admit they made a mistake. And for some of them, that's where they are. They have disrespect for people. That you know that story. But let's just talk about what Stephanie talked about, the transparency. I'm an intelligence person, as you know, and I do know that if there is a review of somebody, if they're going to be federally appointed to a job or whatever, if they have outstanding debt, that is an important factor because that means somebody else has leverage over them. This president appears to have over $400 million in debt, 420, whatever it is, million dollars in debt. To whom? Different countries, what is the leverage they have? So for me, this is a national security.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. You're a national security. You're a national security risk, Pelosi. Because you know why? Because you've been in office for 34 years and you have no clue on how to run this country. No freaking clue on how to run this country. I'm going to try to calm myself down because this is somewhat of a family show. I understand little ears may be listening. I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but you know what? Hey, I'm a realist. I'm a realist just like the president is. And you know what? I'm proud that we have a president that speaks his mind in office, speaks his mind, not afraid to speak his mind, and is not politically incorrect. You know why they're going after this president? Because they don't have anything on them. On him. They're trying every tactic, every possible situation, clause, anything you can think of to try to bring this president down, to try to bring his polls down. Oh, we're right under a major election. 5 more weeks until the major election in this country, right? November 3rd, the Democrats are scratching their heads. They're like, what else do we have? What else do we have against this man? You look at Biden, Christ. If he doesn't know how to read a teleprompter right, he's in the damn basement. Doesn't know what the hell to do. I'm serious. I mean, this man, Biden, it's their best bet. It's their best bet. They don't have anybody else besides Biden. You know? Nobody else besides Biden. But Biden is the best bet that they have. Oh, yeah. 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 I don't know. I don't know anymore. I mean, how much more does this country have to take? I don't know how much more this country can take. Literally, I have no idea. I mean, we're seeing things in this society that we haven't even seen in our lifetime. This country is literally, it's on a breaking point. I don't know how much more it can take. Literally, I don't know how much more it can take. You know, I really don't. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's like one scenario after the next. We get to a point in 2020 where we have the greatest economy in U.S. history. But that's not good enough for the Democrats. That's not good enough for politics to begin with. No, it's not good enough. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I don't know how much more this country can take. I seriously, I don't know how much more this country can take. It's beyond me. It's literally it's like I said, it's holding on to a strong point. It really is. It's just literally it just doesn't have any. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. With that being said, folks, welcome to another edition of the Kitchen Angle. For those who's just joining in, we're talking about another saga of Trump's taxes, and then Nancy Pelosi getting into her saga of maybe he owes money to different countries and this and that. Yeah. This is a woman, like I said, folks, that's been in office for 34 years. 34 years. Has she done anything for this country? Has she done anything for her district? I mean, you look at San Francisco. I've been coming to call it San Francisco. There's looting, there's rioting, there's people burning up buildings. But that's okay. That's okay. Oh, because they're practicing their amendment. They're allowed to protest. Oh yeah. Well, let's go back to social distancing. Where's the social distancing ring right there when you have thousands of people? Come on, folks. It's all bullshit. All bullshit. It is. It's all bullshit. I mean, seriously. It's okay to protest in the middle of the street, thousands of people without mask on, but you can't go sit down in a church. You can't go sit down in a damn church to practice your religion. Oh no. Oh no, that's wrong. That's wrong. Yeah. Yeah, they're opening restaurants and bars finally for people that can have some type of sense of a society in this country left, right? We can have some type of normalcy in this country where they're finally opening restaurants and bars. But no, you can't go to church on Sunday, folks. That's wrong, folks. This country is in a war. It really is. This country is literally. There's nothing left of this country anymore. There really isn't. Yeah.
Good.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Hope you enjoyed that little soundbite. I was just taking a break here. Maybe that type of music will enlighten people. Anybody knows that music or happen to understand that music? That was from the Broadway show of Hamilton. Right. Some birds in the background as I'm doing this podcast on my porch. I love nature. I love nature. I love classical music. I just love it. I love the positivity in the air. You can hear the birds in my backyard here, the porch that I'm doing the show here on. Just chirping away. Chirp, chirp, chirp. Maybe that's what we need to hear again in this country. A little chirping, a little birds whistling in the background. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. See, this show, folks, it doesn't have a filter. It doesn't have a filter. It doesn't have a teleprompter. I'm not reading off of a script that somebody just told me to read off of. No, I don't do all that crap. I'm not your ordinary podcast host. You know, I speak my mind. I'm unfiltered. And I'm not afraid to say what I have to say. To try to at least educate some of my listeners out there. Because, I mean, this society we live in, it's going down a very, very dangerous path, folks. It really is. It's going down a very, very, very dangerous path. It's really, I don't know where to go. I don't know where to start. I mean, I myself, folks, I can't even comprehend just the daily news anymore. I really can't. You know, I don't watch certain networks because, you know, I can't tell anymore when they're positive and when they're telling positive news, explaining positive news. I mean, it's just everything that comes out of their mouths, those anchors, they go into a spiral of just out of whack things. I mean, right? You go to turn on CNN, crooked news network over there. You go to turn on NBC News, MSNBC, all these platforms, even sometimes Fox News. And I thought Fox News was a very conservative American news network, but sometimes they're looking like CNN. I mean, because all these news platforms out there, all these networks, it's just everything that this president does for this country, literally fighting for this country every single day. But no, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. He's rolling out all these great ideas for the American public, but no. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. I tell you, little car going by. Not good enough. Not good enough. I mean, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about COVID? You want to talk about the cases that are constantly being broadcasted across the news networks? More cases. See, that's why, folks. That's why this country will never rebalance. It'll never go back to a normalcy. Excuse me. Is because ever since this COVID hit, now it's a new platform for this country. Now everybody, normalcy in this country, right, might have went out the window. It might have went out the window. I don't think this country will ever become a society where it once was. Will we ever be able to go to sporting events, concerts, social gatherings? Folks, I don't know. I know everybody wants that back. Hell, I want it back. I mean, when they started opening up restaurants and bars at a slow rate, I had to sit down for a minute so I didn't have a panic attack. I'm like, whoa, you had us locked up for 5-6 months. Now you're all of a sudden, we're allowed to sit at the Panera Bread and have our cup of coffee and pastries again? Whoa. Wow, normalcy's coming back. Let me step out of my bubble there for a minute, folks. Right? Ah, boy. I tell you. But you know what? You know how we can get rid of all this crap? We have to stop the crap where it began. And where it began was from the far left media, from the crooked politicians, the deep state, all these people that have an influence on this country. We need to get to the bottom of this. We need to have our country restored back to where it belongs. And folks, where we're heading at is not the America that I once looked at. This country is not the same country that it once was. We are going down dark paths that we don't want to go down. There's been other countries that went down these paths in life, and trust me, folks, did it work out good for Venezuela? Did it work good out for communist China? No, it hasn't, and it's not going to work out for America either until we have politicians. Correct politicians that step up to the mark, step up to the base, and take our country back. Take it back to its throne, take it back to where it rightfully belongs. I'm not a sheep, folks, to the deep state. I'm not going to have my liberties and my freedoms stripped away for these little bastard communists of politicians that tell me what I can and cannot eat, where I can shop, when I'm allowed to go to the grocery store, where I'm allowed to this and that. I'm not going to have it, folks. And you shouldn't either. How easy was it for them to have their citizens just obey by their orders, where you have crooked politicians, crooked mayors such as Cuomo and de Blasio have people locked up like animals, like slaves, locked up in their homes. Oh boy, when is it ever going to be enough? When is it ever going to be enough? Folks, I have no idea.
A lot to say. Maybe you've thought, I should start a podcast. Meet Anchor, the easiest way to make a podcast ever. It's a powerful mobile app and web tool that lets you record a podcast anywhere and distribute it everywhere. It's great whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out. And it's 100% free. You can record your show straight into Anchor on your phone, iPad, or the web, using any mic you want. Record alone or with friends or co-hosts anywhere in the world. You can add background music and transitions. And your listeners can send you voice messages that you can incorporate right into your next episode. If you want to produce your show using another app, you can upload your own audio directly from web or mobile and still take advantage of Anchor's totally free podcast hosting. Once your podcast is ready to publish, Anchor can automatically distribute it to every major podcast platform. That includes Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, so your listeners can hear your show wherever they want. And on the web, you can see detailed analytics about how people are listening. Plus, you'll get a great-looking profile page where anyone can listen to your podcast or subscribe to it. And if you want to ask your audience to support your work, Anchor makes it easy to collect monthly payments from the people who love your podcast and want to see it grow. You really don't need a recording studio, expensive equipment, or a bunch of technical knowledge to deal with a podcast feed. Just get started and join the diverse community of podcasters already on Anchor. We can't wait to hear your podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. More scrutiny against the President of the United States with his federal taxes. Yes, we're back to that scenario again. I thought we were never going to see that scenario again. I thought they were done with the federal taxes. I thought they were going to blame Trump now for the coronavirus. Oh, it's Trump's fault for the coronavirus. It's not China's fault. We can't say China because if we say China, it's racist. Yeah, it was racist. Yeah, that was Pelosi's words back in, back earlier this year. Earlier this year, she said, "Oh, we should go down to Chinatown because this thing is okay, and it's not as bad as what Trump is making it out to be, and this and that." Yeah. But now, the tables have turned. The tables have turned with Pelosi and the deep state, right? Oh, now it's all Trump's fault with Corona. Trump brought it on to us, and Trump should have did this and did that. Well, he did do something, folks. He closed the country down, and he saved more lives, more than what has demise now with the lives, right? You can't save every life. Right? There's diseases, there's viruses. We can't save the world from diseases and viruses, folks. When is it going to get through your thick skull? Diseases and viruses don't play a part in the political system, right? They come and go. You can't save the world from a disease or a virus. The only way you can save lives is for the individual to live a healthy life. I mean, seriously, have we become a world where we're going to blame a political figure such as the sitting president of the United States of America for a disease or a virus? If we came to a society like that, then we should be ashamed of ourselves because now everything is COVID. Every single thing in this in the news today is COVID. You go to other countries, COVID. Everything is COVID. I mean, a person could have died of a heart failure. Nope, that's COVID. Somebody could have died of cancer. Nope, that's COVID. I mean, seriously. Is the hospitals? I mean, we should look into the hospitals. Seriously, you want to look into something, look into the hospitals and see if they're reporting the cases accurately. Because I think there's more to this, folks. I mean, I'm not there yet with it. I'm trying to understand it as much as you are. I'm in the dark just as you are. But no, we have this crazy Fauci, whatever the hell, however you pronounce his name, the fake scientist that says something earlier in the year, and then all of a sudden, we got to go with it because he's a scientist. No, he's not a real scientist. No, the real scientists are the ones that deserve a Nobel Peace Prize. Excuse me. Those are the ones that deserve greatness and honor in this country. Not some half-wit that just, I mean, no. But now we're back to, I was just talking about, sorry, I got a little off course here. We're back to the saga of the income tax for Trump. What's this story now? Yeah, let's read a story here. Where was the news when, did the news report on there was earthquakes just, earlier today that rattled the San Francisco Bay Area? I mean, was the news talking about that? No. Every news article today, Washington Post, New York Times, crooked CNN, CNBC, all talking about either Corona or Trump. That's all they talk about. They talk about nothing but Trump. Trump is a bad man for the United States. No, Trump is doing all he can for the United States. But let's read more about the federal income taxes. What is this by Washington Post? Trump probably paid less in federal income taxes than the average American citizen. Yeah, I highly doubt that. Where did they come up with this garbage? I mean, seriously. The media, the news networks, are truly the enemy of this country. I mean, they can say anything to just rattle up the American folks. I think in times today, we need more unity, more togetherness than ever before, because this country, like I said time after time after time, has never been so divided ever in its lifetime. Sure, we've been divided before and past, and we've had some heated debaucheries, and we've gone to major wars. We had a civil war in this country when the North and the South had their differences, and the country was becoming a country forming from the continental United States to what's now known as the United States of America. But folks, sometimes you have to have bad past in order to create a better future. But do we have to repeat our past constantly over and over and over again? What does your history teach us? It teaches us to learn from the past and move forward. You will never, ever continue to prosper as a nation or a country if you continually live in the past. That goes on with just a normal society, families, relationships. You get the point, right? You get the memo. But no, I think people like living in the past today. I think they like living in negativity. Do I like living in negativity? No, I don't live in negativity. I don't go on social media. I don't call up my friends. I don't constantly bicker batter. I don't, oh, what did you think of the president doing this today? Yeah, he's an idiot, right? I don't live like that. How can you live like that? There's 50, 60, 70-year-old people that live like this. Seriously. I mean, this country's sick. But what's this story here about? The Washington Post writes this story coming out of earlier today. Yeah. The average middle-class American household paid approximately 3 times as much in federal income taxes in 2006 and 2007 as President Trump, a billionaire real estate mogul with properties and developments all over the world, according to a new report. The President of the United States, folks, right? In 2016 and 2017, apparently paid the same amount of federal taxes as an average middle-class American. Okay, let me marinate that a little bit in my brain so I can understand, so I can get on the same level as these thick-headed idiots in the media. The New York Times also reported on Sunday, revealed the president, who has for years refused to release his tax returns, paid $750 in income taxes. In income taxes, they're saying, in 2016, and $750 again in income taxes in 2017. Oh, it gets better, folks. Let me read more on this. In 2016, households in the middle 20% of the U.S. income distribution paid an average of $2,200 in federal income taxes, according to the Congressional Budget Office, a nonpartisan government agency. Yeah. Those middle-income households each earned about $60,000 on an average in 2016. So these half-wits, okay, where's this? From Georgetown Law. Oh, yeah. We got to check the credentials on that one. So they're saying his taxes were being paid the same as an average American from 2016, 2007? Where did they get this crap from? Oh boy. I've said it time after time. I don't agree with everything Trump is saying or everything Trump does say, but I agree to to just what he's going through. This man literally didn't have to walk down the escalator with his wife, okay, in 2015 and announce his run for presidential office. Do you understand what Trump had given up for the American people? What person in their rightful mind would give up a luxury of a lifestyle for his country? Can we compare anybody? Oh, let's compare the current Democratic president that's running against him. What did he do in his 47 years of office? Nothing. Made one mistake after the next. One mistake after the next. One mistake after the next. I'm not just saying that because I don't support him. Because I don't support the narrative of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party have become so unhinged in this country. It's barbaric. Folks, we're living through barbaric times. Literally barbaric times. Biden has sold his country for luxury. Trump has sold luxury for his country. Do you see the comparison there? This man lived a billionaire lifestyle. A billionaire lifestyle to fight for his country. He stepped out of that luxury of a lifestyle to fight for you, for me, for the average American that's been so silent in this country for years and years and years. And what does he get every day? Attack after attack after attack. You know why they're attacking him? Oh, it's quite simple. I don't think you have to be a brain surgeon or a person that went to Harvard or any type of high-leveled college or university. It's quite simple. He's fighting for you because you've been silent by the Washington swamp. They're like leeches. They're like roaches. They don't go away. You could spray every type of chemical on them and they'll still be there. They leech and leech and leech until they drain and drain and drain. And folks, that's what happened. And that's what's still happening to us. We are being drained. It's like a mosquito sucking all the blood out of you, right? Sucking all the prosperity, all the everything that this country is known to be. There's people that come to this country to better their lives, better their families, make a better living. There's people even in this country that still believe in the American dream. And you have a president of the United States of America that still believes in the American dream. Do you believe in the American dream? Folks, we'll be right back after these short words. Hey guys, for those who are new to the podcast show here, thank you for choosing to listen to the Kitchen Angle podcast. On this show, folks, we are unscripted. We are raw. We don't have a filter. We say what's on our mind. We don't say political incorrect things. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. You know, there's a lot to reflect on today. You know, we're talking about Trump and his financial difficulties today, and we're back to that scenario again. But you know, that's what the news is doing today. You know, the news is becoming very predictable today. You know, they go from one thing, they stick on it for a couple months, it starts to wear off, then they go to another thing, and then sometimes they go back to the same thing again, then they go to the other thing, then they go back to the same thing. It's like an old rerun. Remember the old reruns from back in the day? Oh, there was a lot of good things from back in the day. I remember the good days. I do. I remember the good days. I remember. Let's talk about the good days. The good days versus, what we have today. And it's not very it's not very much, folks. It really isn't. It's not. It's not. I mean, what did you have? What did you have then that you don't have now? Well, I can tell you a lot of good things. In the 80s, we didn't have social media. We didn't have Instagram. We didn't have Facebook. We didn't have Twitter. We didn't have... God, so many of them that are just popping up overnight. We didn't have this social network. We didn't have that, folks. We didn't have the negative narrative. Well, what was different then? That growing up in the good old days, right? Growing up in the good old days. Your grandparents used to say, I used to grow up in the good old days. You used to grow up in the good old days, right? You listen to that 1950s commercial ad of Pepsi or whatever it was on there, right? Well, in the 50s, you only had so many channels. You didn't have all these channels that you have now. But, yeah, a lot of it, I mean, can you blame a generation? Everybody wants to blame generations. We gotta blame the boomer generation, right? We have the bias. You ever heard of that? The boomer bias? Everybody, Mike, what are you talking about? Boomer bias. The boomers were the ones that we can blame it all on the boomers of why, the boomers generation of why the society is, of why it is today. Why do we have a messed up society and this and that? Yeah, blame the boomers. Blame their generation. They're the ones to blame. Yes. But, you can't blame a generation, folks, of what you have now that maybe the generations back then were a little bit better. The 50s, the 60s. But I just said, in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, we didn't have the bias that we have now. We didn't have that. The social skills were a lot better, right? We never got trophies for anything. We can go to a sporting event and cheer on our family members, our teammates, our friends, our children. Now today, everything has to be filmed and compared to with other parents. Oh, look at what my son did. What did your son do today? The bias. There was never bias there. The society, I think, was a lot better. We wore our shirts tucked in our pants, which fit. We didn't let our pants hang around our asses. We had more respect for adults. For example, when we looked at people in the eye, we talked to them. We didn't grunt. We didn't have to post something on Facebook. We didn't have to tweet about something. We shared our social skills. We were better adults, I think, in my personal opinion. We weren't connected to cell phones and other forms of anti-social media. It's a fact that the mental health of children in the 1950s was considerably better than is the case concerning today's kids, right? We were a whole lot less likely to become seriously depressed, commit suicide, or develop debilitating anxieties. We were less violent when we attended a special event. We went to school. We went to a restaurant with our families with honor and dignity. What else can you say that we had different then than what we have now? We achieved economic independence from our parents at early ages. By the time somebody reached the age of 24, they knew that they were still able to achieve what they wanted to achieve in life. Now children live with their parents until they're 40 years old, have no economic independence, have no self-independence, no reliability on themselves. The generation was different then. The greatest of all American generations was the generation of Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, and George Washington. But the next few generations still burn brightly. In 1839, in America, there is strictly speaking no adolescence. Well, we go back a little further. Folks, where did the dignity go? Where did it go? I think the self-respect and dignity that was once prosper in this country disappeared. It disappeared, and I can tell you when it disappeared. When high advances of technology evolved in this country. Now am I totally against? Now you're going to be a little concerned and a little confused probably, and I'm probably going to have listeners scratch their heads. I'm not against advanced technology, but I am against it when it becomes bigger than society to begin with. Because when people have to start relying on technology such as social media and all the advance of technology that we have today, that person just becomes more dumbfounded than the next. Because you shouldn't rely on a technology base or a society within that matter to rely on yourself. Where is the society today? Is this the new norm? I truly hope not. I truly hope that the fight for this country to become prosper once again is still there. I hope and pray that the President of the United States keeps on fighting that fight. Because, folks, the only thing that is standing right now between your liberties and freedoms is President Trump. I'm telling you. If the wrong leadership gets elected into office in November, which is very, very 5 weeks away, folks, you won't have a country. I'm telling you right now, it's not a scare tactic. It's not a, try to vote for Trump because Biden is weak. We all know Biden is very weak. The man can't even answer a simple question without being reminded. Folks, do you want that type of person? Do you want that type of leadership to run your country for 4, possibly 8 years? Where are we going to be in 4, 8 years, maybe longer than that, under that type of leadership? Folks, the answers in this country are on a very, very dark path. Folks, with that being said, thank you for joining into today. Thank you for joining into today's show, folks. The answers are there. Just got to wake up, understand where your future is, where you want it to be. Thanks very much, folks. We'll see you on the next one.
You just heard an episode of the Kitchen Angle Show, an Anchor podcast.